Hyderabad, and we will be creating the capacity building activities which we have already started with a program last year which was launched, and we have trained a large number of people over different places including Hyderabad. So in years to come, I'm sure that this center is going to serve not only the state of Telangana but the country and the world as well. And I hope that this MOU will go a long way to establish these relationships. I once again thank the government of Telangana for giving us this opportunity, and I'm sure we will definitely rise to the occasion to live their expectations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Next, we have an MOU with NVIDIA. May I call on stage the MD of NVIDIA South Asia. So we are signing an MOU on the lines of data science, machine learning. NVIDIA has promised to set up a high-performance computing AI center in Hyderabad to provide access to GPU technologies to local startups and research centers. Also, they have a special incubation program known as the Startup Inception Program, which they will run in collaboration with T-Hub, V-Hub, and all the ecosystem players. Vishal sir? Vishal sir, may I ask you please speak a few words on the MOU?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year. The minister here always inspires me. He even tells me how to hold the MOU for the benefit of the press. And what is really important is that that's what most leaders do. Most leaders always make sure that they set up the conditions for us to succeed. It may not be that they can always ensure success. What delighted NVIDIA and what delighted all of us to come and partner with Telangana is the minister himself. What minister told me was that all of us are in realization that AI is going to be everywhere. Jayesh even said that if everybody came and sat here, this platform will break. And the fact remains is because it's going to be omnipresent. You've got to be everywhere with AI. And what is AI, by the way? It's software writing the software. We've all come to this very profound realization today that the work of our software engineers can be augmented if we teach the computer certain tasks, if we expose the computer to yours and my digital experience, which in other words is the data, and put it on these evolving algorithms, which people call deep learning, and run it on supercomputers, the computer itself can write the software. What happens? There's a software engineer who writes the software, and every software that the software engineer couldn't write, the computer writes the software. It becomes a gigantic software. What's going to happen because of that? One thing that's going to tremendously happen is that software is going to become very intelligent, it's going to become superhuman. Which basically means gone are the days when you will have shrink-wrapped software. No more that a domain expert will explain his requirement to an engineer who will code it, and then it will go into a beta, and somebody will say this is good enough, and 1 million copies will be pressed and it'll come in front of you. Gone are those days because the software is going to be so gigantic that you can't now publish 1 million copies. What it will do is that software is always going to be with you. It's always going to be in beta. It's always going to run a QA on that, and it's going to be OTA. So the software world is going to change. Your companies are going to change. Your labs are going to change. And, sir, more importantly, your state is going to change completely because of that part. Now, as a good leader, what the minister probably is asking his team to do is that if we are going to be a software house, if we're going to be a software state, then how do we manage this data? A data which is flowing at such a tremendous rate, what is that I accept? What do I reject? And the goal then becomes that can I reject 99.9% data, principally because I already know it, I understand it, I know how to apply it, give me that delta of 0.1%. And if that can be done, all of us can solve many problems. Therefore, the minister went and said, let's look at healthcare, let's look at education, and let's look at social causes. If we can solve these three problems, we have a vision, we have partnerships, and we all can come together and solve a larger problem. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the very reason we want to partner with Telangana. Thank you for your time. Thank you for making us partner in this. I look forward to a very, very rewarding relationship. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your few words. Moving on to the next MOU. Let me call on stage Garima Babbar, ma'am, Head of Development and Scaling, Southeast Asia. So we are signing an MOU with Adobe on capacity building and mentorship in AI. Raju sir, can I ask you to please share a few words on the MOU?
Very good morning. It's been an honor and pride to associate with the government of Telangana on this initiative of AI, which is a great initiative. And one of the things that we realized in the last decade, as I think every speaker said, is AI is going to change the way we are going to look at the data, we are going to process the data, how we basically run the applications. But more importantly, the content is changing itself. The content in the last decade mostly was documents. The content is changing dramatically to imaging, videos, and the tables and deeper segments in the documents. And on top of it, some of the consumer industry has been going through some of the things called how the audience can be reached, which Google, Facebook have experienced. And one of the things that industry is looking at is how to connect the content creation, document creation, connect that with the digital experiences that enterprises are looking for. And I'm very glad that the Telangana government is looking at such problem to solve for the social cause. And we are very happy to be part of it. And we were briefly chatting with Shantanu, and Shantanu said this is a great initiative and wanted to convey that to you. And as part of this, there are two pillars which we thought have identified as two areas where we can work. In addition to doing the research, it is important that we have people who can actually contribute towards that vision, train them. Not only that, the second initiative Hyderabad has done extremely well in the last decade is a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of startups. And those startups going into that area, and we wanted to mentor them. Those are the two areas which, as part of Adobe, as part of this relationship, we are looking at to contribute towards that. And once again, from all of Adobe, congratulations for such a great initiative.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have an MOU with IIT Hyderabad. I would like to call on stage the Director of IIT Hyderabad, Professor B.S. Murthy, to grace the occasion. Under this MOU, we will be running programs